God damn it, Brooklyn! Volume 6 isn't even out yet, and you're throwing this shit out! What the hell? I mean, you're right. But hey, I can do what I want, it's my channel, so dive into this mess with me. So if you're here for my overall opinion on how I think this season will play out, I'll make it quick. It's gonna be a shit show, but not a bad shit show, hopefully. By shit show, I just mean that I think it'll be darker than what Volume 6 will be. Perfect, that's out of the way. Now here's why I think so. So I know I do this a lot to the point where I don't think I'm original, but I'm going to be briefly talking about EruptionFang's video about the seasons. I'd recommend watching it because I'm only talking about it briefly here, but basically the video is about how the volumes of the show correspond with the seasons spring, summer, winter, and fall. Volume 1 was the beginning of a new show, much like spring is the beginning of a new year. Spring symbolizes rebirth and renewal from the cold, dark winters that came previously. Volume 2 is about fleshing out new characters, making them into their own people, which was split into two arcs, the Dance arc and the Mountain Glen arc. Summer was about joy, expression, and action. Volume 3 was where it took a dark turn. It started light and fun during the tournament, and then melted into a dark, terrible war, where friends died and family got hurt. Fall is symbolized as a balance between light and darkness. Finally, Volume 4. Volume 4 was the winter. The battle was done, the worst was over, and they just had to pick up the pieces and work with the aftermath. The point of explaining all that was so I can go into this. The cycle has restarted. Volume 5 was the rebirth of the year, the spring. Yang is back in action, Blake refuses to run away and took responsibility, Weiss fled her abusive household and worked on growing and developing her abilities, and Ruby is learning to understand herself and the things she saw during the battle at Beacon. Haven did not fall like Beacon did, and the relic was kept safe from the villains. Volume 6, I believe, is going to be more about the characters again, learning more about the new parts of them that came about after the battle, and developing who they've become because of it. It'll be the summer, all about the joy and being able to express themselves again. Now let's talk about Volume 7. Finally, goddammit, took you long enough. I know, but I need a little backstory, okay? Okay! Volume 7 is going to be fall. Dark and gritty, but starting off promising and bright. Or at least decently well lit. I feel like there'll already be an Atlas, unless all of Volume 6 was wasted in Mistral. So the group will have broken into Atlas through legal or illegal methods, use your imagination. I imagine that General Ironwood will assist them when they arrive, and they'll be taken to safety in the military base, seeing as Ironwood is truly loyal to Ozpin. Maybe we'll even get to see Mistral, who knows, not me. I'm going to reference my Volume 6 predictions video for this point really quick, since I love the idea of Madame Schnee being the Winter Maiden. She was briefly mentioned in Volume 4.
I heard Father shouting with someone in his study earlier.
Mother?
No, she's already drinking in the garden.
Then again in Volume 5.
A glass of wine here, a glass of wine there. Then it was no dinners, no recitals, a bottle of wine here, and well, you get the idea.
And, you know, Chekhov's gun. Maybe she'll be moved into the military base to keep her safe from Salem and Co., and she can talk to Weiss about her abilities and powers, etc. And maybe even some family issues. So let's get into the dark stuff. So like Volume 3, it'll be about mid-volume before shit hits the fan. I don't know what events will trigger said shit to hit said fan, but if you want to get into headcanon territory, I have a couple ideas. If Mrs. Schnee is truly the Winter Maiden, then Watts, since he's from Atlas, or somebody else from Salem's team, will attack the Schnee mansion in an attempt to capture her. Maybe in the busiest part of the city, White Fang members that are still loyal to Adam will set dust explosives, or something similar to that, to kill as many human Atlesians as possible. Maybe they planted bombs in the STC factories or corporate buildings. Something tells me finding Faunists that are loyal to Adam and Atlas won't be that difficult. Or Salem's followers attack Atlas Academy to get the Relic of Creation. Obviously people are gonna die, there's no getting around that. I expect people I like to die. During the fight that will happen at Atlas Academy, I expect utter chaos. Hallways collapsing due to explosions, students being crushed, panic screaming, and wow, that's kind of dark. Now I don't want to sound sadistic, but I just find it ironic that Atlas Academy would be hit the hardest. The school that would be considered the safest due to the general of the military being the headmaster. Just it being demolished, bulldozed, wiped off the face of Remnant. Now let's talk injuries. Split and Neon get to be brought back into the story, maybe briefly. One of them dies, Winter becomes gravely injured while fighting with Weiss, maybe. I say injured instead of dying because I think that if Mrs. Schnee is truly the Winter Maiden, she is gonna die, And if I'm gonna talk about a theory, I should go all into it. If Mrs. Schnee dies, I would say that either Winter or Weiss would become the Winter Maiden, since I doubt she's really close to any other females in her life, and having to find the next Winter Maiden will just take way too long. Though if Winter does die, it would really fit into her line.
I'm not always going to be around to save you, Weiss.
But, thinking about that, I'm getting emotional. Let's just ignore that for now. I can't think of other things that could happen, but I guess no one is safe in seasons like this, seeing as Pyrrha and Penny both died. Tell me how good, or bad, this was. Also tell me what you guys think would happen based off the zero knowledge we have of Volume 6. I'm basically telling you to write the plot of a fanfiction right now, so go wild. Please. Thanks for watching, I really do appreciate it. Thanks for all the support I got on my last video about the Volume 6 prediction. I really didn't expect it to get that many views. So thanks, and I'll see you next time I post a video. See ya!